Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we are in a 2016 Jaguar F-Type R convertible. Wow. I don't know how much I can say about this car without just sitting here for an hour fawning over the thing. Beautiful, beautiful car. So we're gonna do just a quick interior review. You can see it's a two-door coupe, so or two-door convertible, so there's not a whole lot to see. To get started, I want you to look at this red stitching here, and here's the window and mirror controls. Up here's the seating controls, a lot of them. This is one of the most comfortable, easily the most comfortable convertible I've ever been in, two-seat convertible, because here you have your bolsters, so you can control where you, how big you want your side bolsters. This is the seat tilt. This is the lumbar. It doesn't just move in and out, it also moves up and down. For a guy like me, I'm 6'3", that makes a big difference, because normally seat bolsters in a car are hitting me right on the tailbone, and so I usually deflate them all the way because they're useless. In this car, I can move it up to where I want it and do it. Then you have 3 memory settings, and there's 3 per side. There's 3 on the other side too. That I think is a little excessive, but you know, I don't know, maybe somebody who owns this has a bunch of girlfriends. Here's your this is the bottom of the chair, moves up and down a little, and tilt and recline, by the way. And this has a little more motion than it might suggest just looking at it, so it's decent. I'm comfortable in this car. I drove this car for pretty long distances and had no problems. Trunk release here, well, you can, this is all pretty obvious. So let's look at the steering wheel and controls around it. So over here you have your audio here, and this controls the infotainment system. Pretty straightforward. I don't think there's anything difficult to do. You can change the mode here so that you can control what's up there. So you have a pretty decent suite of things you can do here. Mostly it's vehicle information or stuff from the audio or navigation that you're looking at up there. Paddle shifter here. Here's the trip control right there, plus all the goodies there for lighting and whatnot. Over here you have your washer wipers. You push this to load to squirt. You can pull it forward to get a quick wipe, and then up for the intermittents, and another paddle shifter. This is kind of a British thing. You have to get used to it a little bit. Here you have your cruise control and speed limiter. If you don't know what a speed limiter is, you put the you give it a limit, and the car won't go faster than that. It's a kind of a Jaguar Land Rover thing. It's very useful in a car like this, because then you can set your speed limit and reduce the number of tickets you might be getting. Here's your steering heat, of course, and you can see what the rest does. So going to the dash, it's going to be hard because these are deep bezels. They're very, very visible from the driver's position, even with the top down and the sun coming in. There's only really 1 or 2 angles that the sun can be at where it interferes with seeing these gauges, and those are going to be very rare circumstances. So very, very good job from Jaguar on this part. So you have your tachometer, of course, and then you have your speedometer over there. And then this part, you can change what's showing in the center if you want. So you can see right now it's fuel, engine heat, and then up here is a digital speedometer. There's your gear there, and a few other things. Your trip shows up over here. And then this part here can be different things like engine heat gauges and so forth. You change that with the knobs on the steering wheel, or buttons on the steering wheel. Very, very nice layout, easy to read, quick. It doesn't take any real effort to get used to this. So, and then I want you to see down there, this is the R package, and I want you to see down there the pedals. Very well placed, easy to get used to this car. So over here, these are the James Bond vents, what I've been calling them. They sink down flush when the car's shut off, and they come back up like this when the car's on. Here you have your infotainment screen. This is the usual Jaguar suite. There's your home button there. This is what the home screen looks like. You can quickly jump to valet mode, put in a PIN number, and then you can beforehand you can program valet mode, but basically it locks the trunk and glove box and a few other things. Over here, so you can see you have your some quick vent controls, parking radar there. That turns the screen off, which is very handy. Just hit that button to turn that off. So at nighttime and stuff. This changes some of the modes. This is music right here, telephone, and going up through the menus. Jaguar's infotainment is fairly limited. It doesn't do a whole lot of stuff, but it does do enough that you can get a few things. You know, you can do everything I think that most people would want to be able to do with their infotainment. It just doesn't have all the app integration and whatnot, and I don't think a lot of people really use that stuff. Down here you have your climate controls. And I know you won't use that stuff in a car like this, because this car is, I can honestly say this is one of the only cars I've driven in the last year that I didn't have the radio on most of the time, because I could just listen to the engine all day. It's great. So here you have your climate controls. Pretty straightforward stuff. You have dual climate in a two-door coupe. That's kind of, I don't know. I think it's a little redundant, but you have dual climate down here. You have quick buttons for stuff, so you can quickly turn on the defrost and so forth. Very nice. I like these controls. They're very quick, so you can quickly turn air conditioning on and off and hit the auto button for while you're driving. Engine start goes here. This is a 12-volt plug. Here is your stereo control. So this actually runs the volume, and then you can hit it to mute it and or turn the audio off like that. So very, very cool. This is your shifter. Now you have to pull the trigger to move gears, except moving from any gear into neutral. Then you can just move the handle. And park, you push the button. Pretty quick to get used to this. Actually, it's very fast, and then you push it over to the left to manually shift, and you can do that to go into manual mode, and then you can shift with this or those paddle shifters up there, and then this is the traction mode control. So you have sport down here, sport and track. Up here you have snow and rain. We had some rain this week, so I've actually used both of these. This is great for performance. I've gotten a lot of good performance out of this car. 0 to 60s in 4.5 seconds are very easy to do in this car. You can do, any amateur can pull it off. The car itself is rated at 3.9 seconds for 0 to 60, and a professional could do that. But for an amateur, I think if you're getting in the 4.5 second range, 4.4 I think is 4.4 is my average in this car. You're doing very, very well. And those are flat-footed, not rolling start, just FYI. Because I know there's people that always comment on that stuff. Oh, you can do better. Yeah, I'm doing it totally flat-footed. No goosing, no anything. I haven't done anything. No rolling start, no anything. So here's your parking brake. It's electronic. This is the engine start-stop. The engine starts and stops on its own so it'll stop at a stoplight or whatever, and then it will turn itself back on. And like most Jaguar Land Rovers, when you park the car, it will shut itself off automatically, and it will stay off unless you change something. This controls the rear fin. The rear fin comes up automatically at about 50 miles an hour or so, and it will be fully extended at about 60 miles an hour, or you can just do it by hand with this. This changes the lighting. The headlights have an adaptive automatic bunch of stuff, and this basically turns most of that off. And then here you have traction control, and here you have the lid control. This raises and lowers the top. The top on this car will come down in about, I haven't timed it, but I would say it's around 10 seconds. It comes back up in about the same amount of time. I think it takes a little bit longer to come back up. And you can do it at up to 30 miles an hour, which is great. Here you have your bourgeois cover and your drink holders there. You have this and I left some stuff in there. Anyway, you have this for your plug-ins here. You have a small stowy box here. You have your regular glove box here, and then I want you to look at the seating in this car. This is the optional red leather package with the red seat belts. Beautiful. I love this look. It looks so good with this. This is a crystal white car, and the colors inside set it off. So when you have the top down, this car just looks really, really swank. Beautiful leather, great feel. These are very good seats, and just a nice interior. Very, very well done. Really enjoyed this car. So that's about all there is for the interior here. The trunk for this car is about big enough to throw in maybe a carry-on or something, and that's about it. But on the other hand, yeah, 0 to 60s in no time, and corners like a dream. All-wheel drive with 550 horsepower. You can't complain. So there we go. That's it. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. And this has been the 2016 Jaguar F-Type R in the convertible. Talk to you again soon.